think. We should be. It's showing Facebook. Yeah. It's showing 3 destinations. So I think we're in the right place now. Sorry, I think I pushed recording instead of streaming on Switcher. Hello. Yes, we're running late, y'all. We as in me is running late. If we want to be honest about the situation. But good evening. And I don't even know. I'm fired. You were too long at Walmart, y'all. That's what happened.
All right, you are live on YouTube.
Okay.
I still don't. Oh, there you are on Facebook. Yay!
Yay.
Took a little while, but you got there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, we are going to have a make it work moment because, you know what, I should use this paper. I think I'm going to use this paper because this might be fun. Hello, you guys. Hello, hello. How is everyone this evening? Royce is still trying to figure out what she's going to do. And yes, I spoke about myself in third person because I don't know why. Because I want to use my industrial paper, but I don't think I have any out here. Dag nabbit. But this one will be pretty. We'll use this one. So, I think the premise of the idea will still be valuable, even if my execution is not. Let's say hi to everybody, babe, and then we can go ahead and get started.
All right. Can you say hi, everybody?
Hi, everybody.
Yep, we have the man. He is here.
He is here.
What are you eating
We're
right
not gonna
now?
be super long anyways, but
He's eating a popsicle. So he doesn't want to talk. All right, let's see. On YouTube, excuse me, we have Kathleen Hoovis, David Bell, who said, running just a few minutes late. Redeemed said, my glass of wine might get the better of me tonight. Well, the good part is you don't buy anything on tonight, so
I know.
it's not like when we're on Whatnot. Christy Scarborough, Cheryl Lynn, Rochelle Kithcart, Lorio Narad. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. There's a garbage over there. Can you put it in the garbage? Okay. Larijo Narad, hello from Michigan. Ruru2, tell me if I'm mispronouncing it. Okay. And Yolanda. And Ruru2 says, hi, Demar. Here, I'll open it up for you. Give me 1 second, everybody. I have to open up the kettle corn. So
we got
that,
important business going on over here.
and then I will say hi to everybody on Facebook. I want to make sure we don't spill
Grab
it.
some more paper, you guys.
There you
this
go.
is going to be a make it work moment.
All right, on Facebook, we have Shannon Booth, Melissa Paget, Flea Brown, Marty Hardy says, feels like it's been forever since I've seen you. Do you have to go potty? Okay.
Marty's like, no, I don't have to.
Janet Taylor Borgers, finally cooled off in Florida. Dawn Perry Headley, Andrea Scott, Kim Poultier Rowe, I hope I said that right. Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, a beautiful day in Illinois. Kim says you have an adorable voice. The voice is adorable. Actually, he's been great.
Yes.
We've had him the last 2 days. He's been great. Vicky Valdez Green, Marty Hardy, although you two got into it for a short period of time.
We did. I think he just has to make sure that grandma's rules are still the same.
Marty Hardy says,
For
hi,
1
Demar. It's
second.
good to hear your voice.
You can say hi for 1 second and we gotta go sit by grandpa. Can you say hi? No? Okay, we'll go sit by grandpa.
Deb Hewlett,
You
Pamela
wanna- okay,
Culpadere,
Say hi. Hi. Okay, get up there by grandpa.
Chris Schmidt,
That
can
is
hear
next.
David much better than Royce.
Oh.
Madonna
Wow.
Frazee Rapp, Kim Poulter Rowe, he's adorable too, and Tanya Chapman, excuse me. Where is your
Oh,
mic
you know what? My
pointed?
mic is like turned to my. I don't know why it's doing that. It's turned into my shirt. Let me see if I can fix it real quick.
Because I got you jacked up all the way.
You got me jacked up.
I do. Do we need to go potty?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Grandma. We are going to go potty. We will be right back.
Okay. The men folk are deserting me for a moment, but that's okay. We can go ahead and get started. Thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate it. I know that the invitation for tonight's live went out really late because I don't know. It's just because. So, tonight, you guys. Good evening, Jan. How are you? Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. If you are new, my name is Royce Hunt Bell. The voice you guys hear behind the camera is my husband, David Bell, and the little voice is our grandson, Damar. So, I have 2 projects that are actually prepped. I'm a hot mess. This is a hot mess express tonight, I'm telling you guys. Because I started prepping, but I got distracted and I didn't pull out the paper that I wanted. So we're gonna make do. It's gonna be fine. Right, Chris? He's all lined up. When his dad takes him to the barber, he does much better than when he does when we take him. Hey, Genevieve, I hope I'm saying that right. Hey, Patsy. But I do know like what I want to do tonight. I know exactly the heart of what I want to do. It's just a matter of choosing the paper. I really wanted to use the new Create Together decoupage paper, but I do not have a sheet of it in here. I'm so sad because I think it would have been perfect for what we're doing, but it's okay. What we're gonna make is still gonna be beautiful. So, you guys know that we have the Recycled Besties membership, and it's so awesome to be able to we meet on Zoom about 4 times a month, and so I'm able to speak to my people directly, which is so awesome. And a reoccurring theme that I've been hearing over the last few months is one of 3 things, or all 3 things. One is that for a lot of us, as we've gotten older, creating has become a way for us to be nice to ourselves. So it's become a process of self-care. And sometimes when life started lifing, we don't have time to create. And that can really have an impact like on our mental emotional health because it's something that we've been using, right, for self-care. The second thing is that either we don't have time or we don't have space, right? I know that for some of us, either adult kids are moving home or parents. You know, when my mom moved into our home for us to provide care for her, her bedroom was my craft space. So I totally get that, right? So maybe we don't have space to dedicate to creating. So we don't have time, we don't have space. And the third thing is that sometimes when so much of life is occupying such a large space emotionally and mentally, it's hard to be inspired. And so something that I'm going to start doing inside of the membership in November is doing prompts. We'll do 2 prompts a month, and they'll be short projects that can be done in 20 minutes, but the purpose is just to have you carve out time, twice a month to create something that's going to take you 20 or 25 minutes that you're going to be totally proud of creating, that is going to sow into your art practice or your creative practice, right? And they're going to have affirmations as well. So it's something that you can sow into yourself. So for the next few weeks, we're going to be doing Christmas gifts. And I thought that this would be a perfect Christmas gift. So I have 2 things on my desk. I have this caddy/wood toolbox. And whenever I see these at the thrift store, I always pick them up, you guys. This is something that if I go thrifting or picking, I'm always going to pick one of these, right? This one's kind of big, but it's good. Because if I can put some basic supplies in this, and then the other part of this gift idea, so this is for the creative in your world who's maybe struggling with 1 or 2 or 3 of the things we just spoke about, is a little box. And inside this box, I have taken some mixed media paper and I've just cut it into size. And so this paper that I'm using specifically, I found at 5 and Below, you get a sheet of 30. I thought I had a pad here. It's a huge pad. 30 sheets, and it's not the heaviest paper, but it's like a nice, like, weight paper. But if I were making this for a gift, I would probably put some regular mixed media paper, maybe some watercolor paper, and maybe some really heavier like mixed media paper to give a person options and they can pull out whatever they need. So the purpose of this set is that if somebody can sit down just a couple of times a month and they can make something really small, write the affirmation and put it back in their box. And so this little set can be stored somewhere in a closet space and can be pulled out on the kitchen table and put away easily and quickly. So it kind of solves the issue of space. Carving out time twice a month, 20 minutes twice a month for yourself as self-care, because I just flew to Wisconsin recently, and every time the stewardesses talk about putting your oxygen on first before you try to help someone, I'm always reminded about the importance of that in our everyday life, because as women, we are wired, taught, conditioned, however you want to look at it, to take care of everyone else. But if we keep pouring, you're going to get to the point where your cup is empty and the people around you that you care about are going to ultimately suffer, right? Because you don't have anything left to pour out. So carving out a few minutes for yourself a couple of times a month to create, if that is your self-care, is super, super important. So this could be an awesome gift for the creative in your life. So I'm going to be decoupaging this box, and I'm going to go down to my table right now, and it's a hot mess. I'm just telling y'all right now, it's a red hot mess. But y'all gonna give me grace, because I know how y'all are. So that's it.
All right, Maharishi Royce. Okay. Narad is Lori Joe. Just
Camera's not connected.
you just put Lori Joe together. Thank you. I apologize. I'm going to be going back and forth between the two, Facebooks and YouTube, because Tamara is using my phone.
Oh.
So if I miss anybody, I apologize.
Do you want my other phone, babe? I don't have to record.
No, record. Chris Schmidt says Damar's haircut looks great. Genevieve Levac? No, record.
I know, but it's such a big project. I don't know if it's going to be a good one to record.
Oh, you can eat that. Thank you. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Levac says hello from Quebec. I know I'm mispronouncing that. Amanda Patterson is watching.
Hey, Amanda.
Down the block.
I know, literally.
Yeah.
Down the block, one block.
Deanna Osborne, I make space to craft, but hard to keep picking up things as gifts to stash. I need a bigger garage.
Me too.
And there you go. Oh, Melissa Q.E. Gomez says, love this idea.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I belong to a lot of business groups, and they're always talking about creating a product that solves a problem. And generally when I'm in these spaces, these are coaches who are talking about finances and, your health, or, they're solving problems. And I always feel weird because I'm not sure if I'm really solving any problems for anyone. But I do feel like this is a problem solver, and I think that's why I'm so excited about it. Okay, I'm not, because my other video didn't record yet, so I can't delete it. YouTube? Okay. Don't eat off the floor. I was like, he's already swallowed the germs now, babe. This phone is like... Okay, YouTube would not load, but Facebook is loading, so. I know, my poor phones, you guys. I think I need to find a camera. It should be it's downloading. You see the little circle? It's probably dark and there's a little circle on it. Let me see, baby. Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to wait till it. So what'll happen is Apple will offload it to the cloud if there's a lack of space. So it's downloading it back and then you can open it. So let's start with the big one first, because I don't even know if we're going to make it to this one. We may have to do this one next week, but it's okay. We can start with this one. So I was going to use the Create Together. In my mind, I saw it going right here on the side, but I can't find it. I forgot to pull it out. So we're going to improvise. It's going to be fine. I do have the new Christmas paper, which could be super fun because you guys, when I made this paper, in my mind, I was visualizing. Um, Sometimes if you're lucky, you can find a sketchbook from an artist who's like gone out into nature and they've sketched out things and they write little notes in there. And that's what I was thinking about was like a filled notebook, right? And so this is super neutral, but it would be super easy to just go over this with some watercolor ground and you can actually go in and use watercolor on these things. So it's not in my shirt anymore. I fixed it. Okay.
I have no idea why it's always you. And even when we switch mics,
It's still me.
it's still you.
Okay, I'm gonna jack it up on this side.
Is everybody saying I'm clear as a bell?
Okay, hold on 1 second.
And I really don't want to put headphones on.
Oh, you're okay. I'm gonna put it up to 6 decibels and see if that helps.
All
Okay,
right.
and we'll wait a few minutes and see if that helps before I start
All right.
move forward. And some of it is if I'm looking over there, I'm talking away from the mic. That's my fault. So hopefully that's a little bit better.
Maybe if you put it in the center in the V.
Oh, I was trying to move it up closer to my mouth. I moved it up.
I
to
know,
like right
but because
here.
your head goes side to side,
Okay.
that might.
Okay.
It's easy for men. We just clip it on a tie. So it's
Well, I
always
could wear a
straight
tie,
on.
but
All right.
okay. Is that better, you guys? I'll look and see, and I can go up to 9 decibels if I need to. Everyone says they can hear fine.
All right.
You are a bell, David.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna put you guys down, and let's go ahead and decoupage this one. And I'd like to put some transfers. So what I'm thinking is to decoupage the sides, and then to maybe, I don't know, we'll see, put some transfers on the ends, you know, because you have that huge space. Now, I want you guys to know that about, I don't know, probably 30 minutes ago at this point, I did use some Wise Owl stain blocking primer on this, and you guys see those yellow marks that are kind of coming through a little bit? That is tannins, and so if you're working on some like old wood or unfinished wood, I would use a white primer as opposed to a white paint. And I don't have to paint again. I can just go ahead and decoupage right over the top of this. Now, if you're using your primer to block stains, the best practice would be to paint and to wait a few hours. And if you see like a lot of tannins coming through, to paint again and then to wait again. But this one isn't horrible. There's just a little bit that's coming through. So I think I'm going to be okay.
So a couple of things real quick. Dreaming Cat Studio says Royce is audible, but the air conditioner is loud. It is.
Oh, you can turn that off now, babe, if you want to. You can turn it up.
It's literally 5 feet from Royce.
I know.
We had a weird weekend. So
I know, right?
We had a freeze warning Friday night into Saturday morning, and today it's what, 85, 90?
Yeah.
Can I talk?
Sure, what are you going to say?
He's done.
Oh, when I'm done? Oh, okay. He wants to talk when I'm done.
Okay.
So we've tried to go without the air, and we've just been,
Talking.
and it's just been kind of sweaty, so that's why the air is going today.
You can turn it off, babe, or would it be easier for me?
I can turn it off. Flea said, I've determined this weekend that I would no longer be a craft supply collector. I'm using what I have.
Yes. And this could be another, and Flea, you'll get the prompts. And my idea with the prompts is to use like simple supplies that most people have. And so that's going to be a part of it because I am going through, so our living room is a mess, you guys, and it's all my fault. I have art supplies and projects that are exploded all over the living room. So I have a room that I've dedicated for like my own studio space, but I haven't had a chance to get to it. So I've been working in there today. My goal is to get it done by the end of this week. But in doing so, I'm like, oh, I forgot I had that. Oh, I remember when I bought that. All kinds of stuff, y'all.
Beverly
kinds of
Beverly
stuff.
Skeens is watching. Beverly should know
Hi,
exactly what
Beverly.
we're going through because she's just down the road.
Yes. Right, Beverly? We went from like 95 to 65 in what, 3 days, 4 days?
No, we were down into the 50s
Oh,
yesterday, and then today it shot back up.
yes. So it's a little crazy. This morning the house was cold, but when I came outside with George, it was really warm. Oh, man.
So I would like to remind everybody, if I may, if you are on Facebook, we would appreciate it if you would share this. Also make a comment, even if it's just to say hi, and do an emoji, anyone you like. Let's see. Yeah, let's do that one since I'm using your phone. All right. So it says you just said hi
Oh.
in one of your cartoony characters.
Oh.
But anything, it really does help. If you are on YouTube, we would appreciate it if you'd hit the thumbs up. Also subscribe. And you can, if you hit the bell, you can set notifications the way you want. So if you want no notifications, you can say that. If you want only certain channels to give you notifications, you
Like
can do that too.
recycled.
Royce, I say it every week. There are two that I get. I get you and Not Another Cooking Show. Those are the
Yes.
only two that
Even
I
though
have.
he made you mad with the pizza the other night.
He really did, but he's from New York. He doesn't know any better. He was led astray by some jamokes.
Oh my gosh, you are terrible.
Oh, who was in Scottsdale last week every day? Jeannie Chanel. Yeah, it was. Phoenix has set a record for the most number of 100 plus days.
Yes.
And the latest, it has been 100 plus. We don't get as hot as Phoenix, just barely, but it's been ridiculously warm.
Yes.
Yes, markers.
Oh, okay.
And so this box is going to be year round. So I'm trying to avoid the Christmas specific parts of the box, if that makes sense.
Oh, it heard Damar and it closed captioned it as monsters. He said markers, by the way.
It could have been monsters.
I know.
You don't know. So right now I'm just doing a rough sizing of the areas I need to decoupage. And what I like to do is to take my fingers
It is marker.
and run around the edges so that I can like mark my paper and then I trim from there.
Lori Stanley Henderson, spoken like someone from Chicago. All right, look, I'm not doing the New York versus Chicago. What his most recent one was talking about
With a Chicago style pizza.
what a real
specifically.
Chicago style pizza is, what we call pub style, which is a very thin. Well, they did get the explanation right. The bars would make it and give it out free
Oh.
so that they would have something to eat while they drank and
So
encourage them to drink more.
Yes.
And they cut it into squares so that way there were more to go around rather than, 6 triangles.
Yes.
So it was marketing, but he was right. That is really legitimately Chicago pizza. He just had somebody showing him goofy stuff.
They were new chefs, baby. They want to put a new spin on an old favorite.
And that's exactly what it was. But he was touting it like it's traditional. That was not traditional.
Tell us how you really feel, baby.
Ugh.
Okay, so now that I've gone through, you guys, I have all my pieces here. I have my 2 end pieces that I'm going to be using. And like I said, I tried to work around the parts that were specifically Christmas. And if I did catch something that's Christmas, I'm just going to cheat and put a transfer over it. So it's going to be all good. I love the neutrality of this paper. I think it's really pretty. And I was really hoping that you guys would like this one because I was super excited about it.
Juice is there if you want any.
So let's get to decoupaging. We're like getting
you
a
want
late
some.
start tonight. I feel pressure.
Well, it's 5:30. We
I
did
know.
start late,
I
but
know.
just letting everybody know. If you guys aren't aware, you can also check out Royce on Fridays but it's not on YouTube and it's not on Facebook. Although I guess you could watch on Facebook.
You can watch on Facebook, but you can't participate.
You really can't, and we don't see those comments, which our daughter-in-law learned the hard way because she got mad at us.
I guess my in-laws are busy because they're not answering me.
We don't see those comments. But Royce is on Whatnot, WHATNOT. It is an auction website, but you don't have to buy anything. You just come hang out.
Yeah, it's an app, actually.
Oh, excuse me. Well, I can see it on my desktop.
You can, but it's legitimately an app. You can just access it from your desktop.
Oh, okay. And we do that every Friday at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. So it's fun. And it's a chance, if you do want to buy, no pressure, Royce cleans out her maker stuff. So you've sold a couple of these boxes, these tool boxes.
The ones that I've made on a live.
One that you made, and I think there was a raw one too.
I did. I've sold a couple of. Yeah, I actually sold quite a few because you guys know how we all have things that we always pick. Metal boxes is one of mine. I have so many. So I sold about half my stash.
And did I ask the question, what's the name of this paper? Somebody did ask that.
This is Christmas Journal.
Okay.
Look at you testing me. You're making me think. And if we have any Royce Cycles retailers on, you guys please put your links in the comments of where customers can find the paper so that they can
Amanda Velderman.
Get their stash.
Amanda's making fun of me. She always has great spindles on her whatnots. I'm going to call it that now, Amanda. You're right, 100%. Lori Stanley Henderson says, can you pay through PayPal?
You can. When you sign up, you set up your account with whatever your processor is.
Welcome.
Because I want to say I have mine through my PayPal too, Sandy. Yeah, and so like this week, for instance, George and I, the reason why we were so long a while ago when we were outside is because George made the mistake of mentioning that I still had a lot of ceiling tile left. So we ended up brainstorming a project. So he's going to be building Christmas trees and then cladding them with the antique metal ceiling tile. And those will be on this Friday's show. And I found some ceramic knobs too while we were back here. You guys, I have been picking for so long that it is absolute insanity. And you guys see that knot that was right there? I just pushed my paper into there. I'm being kind of gentle because I don't want to tear my paper, but I did have enough flexibility to be able to push it in there. And there's quite a bit of decoupage and medium in there. And I really do love this paper. And honestly, even if I have some of that, como se dice, the wood stain come through this, it's still going to be beautiful. It may actually add to it. So this is a really pretty paper. I probably should not be gushing about my own paper, but sometimes when I make designs, you guys, I make them just for me. And this is one of the ones that I made literally just for me.
Melissa Cuey Gomez asks, will there be any more trees with hinges? Which
I know you asked about that during the show.
I was going to say, second time I've heard that question.
I know. I need to talk to George because, yes, we can make some more. We have plenty of hinges. So I'll have to talk to George.
And I saw some trees in the kitchen, right?
Yes. I gave them to George, though, to use.
No, they were sitting on top of my soda. There was some chunky wood. It looked like trees.
I don't know that. I started collecting already for next week. So there may be. It's so funny. I remember when George first started working for me, he'd be like, Miss Royce, what are you going to do with that? Like, he was serious, too. He just didn't understand. But now, I brought him over to the dark side, you guys. I am going to cut an X right here in hopes of being able, I probably should have clipped it before I wet the paper. I just want to wrap it around, there's a dowel right here. So I want to be able to wrap it around that dowel. I should have done this before I wet the paper because it's not cutting as clean.
Gene Hicks just decoupaged 3 nesting boxes with this paper. And Colleen Kobielka, I pick
Hey,
items I
Colleen.
love, including furniture. I cannot part with any of them.
It's true, Colleen, but I have a lot of love going on around here. So I gotta let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And I've seen you do a clean out, Colleen. Colleen, you had a sale, I want to say in April. I remember crying because I was looking at those beautiful furniture pieces that you had for sale.
El Kio on YouTube says, an unrelated question. Can you put a hot pot on top of decoupage paper after it's been sealed with Wise Owl varnish?
A hot pot.
My shelf sitters might end up being hot pot stands. So trivets?
Oh, like a trivet? You may want to go over it with some resin if you're going to use it for that. Because it really depends on what you seal the paper with. Is going to determine if that's going to work well. So you guys see how I cut that X? I cut this X here, right? And then that allowed me to be able to wrap it around. I also like to do that. Let's just say if I had cut it too long, if I have a clean line, it'd be really easy to go in and glue those two lines together and have it re-disappear. So that's why I kind of like to do that when I'm trying to get around something. But yes, you probably want to find an appropriate resin for that and maybe coat those with resin. I bought, one of the things that we'll be making at some point in this series of Christmas gifts will be some coasters, because I have a one-step UV resin that I've been playing with, and so we're going to coasters using that resin. So we'll decoupage first, and then we'll resin and put it underneath the UV light. And we'll do that together. Or I might do a video. I haven't decided, honestly. And a paper like this, if you don't like how neutral it is, you can like decoupage and seal it, and then you can go over it with some color washes to add some color to it. Or even, like we said, watercolor the actual elements that are in it. But I love the sketchiness of this paper. The paper isn't sketchy, but, you know, there's a lot of sketches on the paper. And I also have a, como se dice? I know, because I'm standing up. I'll put it back on when I sit down. You guys can only see my belly right now, because I'm standing up, because this is kind of tall. So I'll put my face on in just a few moments. Y'all do not want to see my belly.
Want it?
Oh, you can eat it.
But I have a Lazy Susan. So I saw Lynn Brundage from Ellen J. Goods. Although I should call her Ellen. That's what we did all weekend. She called me Joyce, and I call her Ellen all weekend in Wisconsin. She made, you guys remember the breadboards, the plates? And she made one using the letters from IOD, and it was so beautiful. And so I want to replicate that. She did hers on a charger, but I want to do it on my Lazy Susan. Because at the retreat, I want to have different Lazy Susans at each table. That's my goal. So I've been collecting them, but I want to get them all, like, decorated. So you guys want to help me accomplish that by April.
Lori Jo Narad says, I purchased a bunch of decoupage paper back at the end of 22, but then my husband and I bought a new house in 23. They're still unpacking. We understand it. Heck, I think I've still got boxes from when I moved
I have a
in.
big box in the room, baby, that's still not unpacked from when
No,
you
no,
moved.
no. It is almost empty.
Okay.
From when
wasn't
I
sure if
moved
he was
in
gonna
7
stay.
years ago.
So he left a box packed just in case. He had to make a run for it. No, I'm kidding.
How long are we married?
really quickly. So I
Is
can
our
go to the other
6th
side.
anniversary coming up?
Baby, why are you trying to set me up? Oops.
Anyway, she's got to get back to creating, and she enjoys watching.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy watching, but yes, creating is the fun part.
I think it's our 6th. I think it's our 6th.
I think you're right.
I'm married in 18, right?
Babe, are you trying to set me up for failure over
I
here?
don't know. Look, I'm legit asking because I don't remember. Oh, Linda Gardner says beautiful day in the Mohawk Valley in New York.
Beautimus.
Oh, Dreaming Cat Studio said, I painted, stamped, stenciled a Lazy Susan, but she didn't have your papers then. So.
I legitimately have, well, I have one. It's funny Beverly's here because Beverly made me a Lazy Susan probably, oh my gosh, Beverly, what was that, 4 years ago maybe? I think it was before the pandemic because it was right after we had a personal class. I mean, an in-person class. Um, and I still have that one, and so that one will be at the retreat, Beverly. It's gorgeous. She did some wings and a patina. So I don't have to do anything to that one, but I have other ones because there's going to be 10 tables. I want 6 people at a table. So everybody would have elbow room. He's sitting there with his legs crossed. It's making me laugh. I wish I had extra camera. I'd take a picture.
No.
So I'm drawing this, you guys, so I don't want to set it down and try to decoupage and then have it stick to the table. That would be no bueno.
Oh, Southeast North Dakota was good for weather. So, all right, well, that's good. Ours wasn't bad. It just was warm.
It was just, yeah.
And everybody was wearing a jacket yesterday. It was the goofiest thing. Not as goofy as that one time in Denver where it went from, because I remember they showed either the baseball field or the football stadium where it went from like 80 to 25 in a day.
In a day?
Yep.
Ugh. That's what fall in Arizona feels like, though. Like you wake up in the morning and it's like 40 degrees, and then by noon you're like crawling out of your clothes because you're sweating. And then as soon as the sun drops, you're freezing again. So you guys will notice when I'm trimming, I'm just going straight down in one direction. I'm not going in multiple directions so I can get a nice clean trim. And this is probably like a 200 grit, I think. It's pretty rough, but not super rough. I don't like going as far as a 180 because I feel like it scores my edges. So anything higher than a 180, but if you get over 220, then you're sanding for an eternity before your paper cuts. So that's why I like a 200 or a 220. So this part right here, if I would have started sanding, I would have just pulled that part up. So I put a snip right there before I start sanding. I guess tonight is kind of like Decoupage 101. Although I'm hoping we can put some transfers over the top of this, but we'll see. Because it's already 5:47. Oh, Lord. So what's everybody up to? Like for us in Arizona, I know in communities where it's cold, people start like buckling down. But for us, it's like we've been buttoned down all summer. And we're coming out right now. Although it's still hot. I'm going to say only 90, and someone's going to laugh at that, but it's only 90. So.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Yeah. It's not.
I mean, if you're out all day, it's warm, but if you're just going out to go do something, that's actually semi-pleasant.
It's not like trying to be at an outdoor event in the 4th of July.
Yeah. Marie E. Price Miller, Thursday night, went to the Virginia Tech Boston College game. It was in the low 30s.
Oh my gosh.
Where was that? Was that in Boston or was that in Virginia?
No.
DeMar says no.
No. I think that's his answer for everything right now.
Well, I say no to the low 30s too.
As long as we don't get down to the single digits, because things just go awry around here when we get that low.
Yes.
We are not used to that.
While we have a break for a second, let everybody know that retreat
Oh, yeah.
is getting closer and closer to cutoff.
So we have 60 spots available, and we have 40 seats that are filled already. So, yeah, the seats are filling up really fast. And if you are with the Royce Cycles retreat, if you guys already paid for your tickets, make sure you should have gotten an email last week with a link to the Facebook group, because that's where we're going to be putting updates and giving you guys additional information. And if you try to book a room and they charge you a regular rate, please reach out to me. Is Pam here tonight? Pam, I got your message. I did return your message, and I have a call into the manager. But if you send me your confirmation, I can get that taken care of you. If you guys call and they don't give you the special rates, let them know that you need to speak to a manager, or let me know and we'll take care of it. But don't pay the regular rate for the room, because we do have a special rate.
So anybody that's interested, is there
A link
or QR code?
I do have a QR code. If you are interested in finding out more information about the retreat, if you are on YouTube, I guess if you're on your phone, you can't. But if you're watching YouTube on your TV, you can use the QR code with your phone, and it'll take you right to the landing page. And I think, babe, you might have a link in your messenger on Facebook.
I've got early bird.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right.
Yeah, so early bird pricing until December 1st.
But I can only do that on
YouTube. On Facebook.
On Facebook, because I'm not on mine.
Okay.
On what did you give me?
I was like, you can still look.
I can do it on YouTube. I can't do it on Facebook.
Okay, so on my phone, I sent you the message, so you should still find it in Messenger. Know what I'm saying?
No.
If Facebook is downloaded on that phone, because my poor phone is in self-preservation mode. So Facebook might not be downloaded. And I'm sorry I'm so close to the camera, but this box is long, so.
Colleen says, in Winnipeg, we had frost. The outdoor flowers and plants died.
Oh.
Mike has covered all our outdoor patio furniture. Here's the weird thing. Here in Arizona, this is planting season. I have a friend that works at a watershed preservation group, and we talk, and she goes, fall is when you plant here.
Oh, yeah.
Not the spring, but everybody thinks the spring is when you plant. Yeah. She goes, not here.
It's fall.
It's fall.
You guys can see where I'm having some bleed through come through from that wood, and it's because I didn't let my primer sit long enough to do a good job of blocking those tannins. But honestly, I feel like it just lends to the paper, and so I'm not really upset about it.
No.
I think I'm good with it. So, moral to the story, if you're using your primer for tannin blocking properties, be sure to let it sit for at least a couple of hours. And if you have a lot of tannins that bleed through, you might want to do another coat and wait another couple of hours.
No.
No.
Yeah, Colleen Kobialka, that's crazy planting season in Arizona. It's when we cool down. So this is the time for plants to actually take hold. We've had a little bit of moisture for Arizona. It's a lot for everywhere else. You'd look at us and say, how do you survive?
We live in a desert.
But the ground is as wet as it's going to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the time.
Now, you guys notice when I spray my paper that I take a few minutes to actually stretch it out as well. So it's not just about misting your paper. It's about misting your paper and then stretching your fibers so that it doesn't respond when you put on your decoupage medium.
Jan McCrary says, frozen. I don't know if that means the feed or her area. I'm going to assume it means her area because the video looks fine.
And if anybody else is frozen, let us know. Oh, seriously?
George from the
George
kitchen.
knows I'm live. What is he doing? I'm sorry. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Robin Talaski says they're expecting snow tonight in Edmonton.
The fact that we had a freeze warning was just crazy. Crazy town. And so because I've misted my paper, you guys, I'm putting down a little extra medium. So I'm using a little bit more than I normally would. And you guys notice I'm going to do a larger area too. Because I don't have to worry about my paper crinkling or wrinkling. And so it's just a matter of getting it down and making sure there's good contact. I don't necessarily have to worry about like maintaining control over being able to get the wrinkles out as I go.
Lori Jo Narad says a spray of shellac will also block the bleed through.
Yes, I just cannot stand shellac. Like literally, I am such a weakling. We were doing, we did a series on masking inside of the Recycle Besties membership. And so I bought some rubber cement as an option. Y'all, I couldn't even use it. I couldn't even use it. It was too much. Like I forgot how stinky rubber cement was. And we had that stuff in grade school. I probably lost some brain cells. It is stinky, baby. Like, oh my gosh.
Rita Burnett Laws, do you get cold enough for a freeze warning? We do. We get a couple a year.
So we live at the base of a mountain too. So it's cooler here. People always think of Phoenix as all of Arizona.
They do.
But not all of Arizona is as hot as it is in Phoenix. It depends on the elevation. We're at a higher elevation than Phoenix. And then, like, if you live in Flagstaff, which is way higher, they get snow every winter.
Yeah, oh, yeah, they get a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I got both campaigns, both presidential campaigns reached out to my station and were like, do you want to come cover, various events? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, if you're coming to my area, I'm 3 hours away. Oh, yeah. We didn't realize. No. Yeah,
I remember working for the state, and we would have customers who were having problems accessing healthcare because we live in a rural area, and they would call the plan, their access plan, their Medicaid plan, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, there's a doctor here." It'd be in Tucson. It's like that's 2 hours away. This is a viejita with no car. Mm-hmm. Like she cannot get to that doctor. So I would have to call for a lot of my people and advocate for them because those companies.
I just had one. I had to return something to Amazon. That shirt, they sent me a shirt.
It was like a Gordon Cottrell, baby.
It really. So the left sleeve was normal, and I'm a long sleeve. I know that. I'm a 37 sleeve. That's a long sleeve. I understand that.
Yeah, but
the right sleeve was like a 34. It was 3 inches short. Yes. So I had to return it, and they said, yeah, no charge if you take it to a UPS shipping store or something like that. I forgot what they called it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, let me see if there's one here. We have a UPS depot, but it's not a store.
No.
And they were referring me to Tucson.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that ain't happening.
To retain a shirt.
Yeah, I'm not driving 2.5 hours.
I took it to CMI.
Yeah, so we had a UPS drop that was nice enough to do it.
Yeah, for a while they weren't letting people do that. I think people raised a big enough stink.
Colleen Kobialka. I was in Safford for the retailers retreat in August. I almost died from the heat.
Yeah, August is hot and humid. But actually, we had a pretty mild August when the retailers came.
It wasn't bad.
Colleen was like, wasn't bad.
I mean, I understand when your high is 70. I always said growing up in Chicago, the perfect day was 72. You could go swimming, but if you didn't, you weren't overheated. 72 was just perfect. And then you come here and 100.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there going, yeah, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
So, Amanda Velderman, the one year I visited Arizona in February, there was snow and it was solidly cold. It depends on which part of Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, but we've gotten down to 6 degrees in January, February before.
Yes, we have. It's not common, but we have.
And it's crazy because we don't have the infrastructure to handle that kind of weather. So the last time we got snow here, and mind you, it was like 12 inches of snow. It might as well have been 6 feet of snow, y'all. Because we were not equipped. We don't have like, the city doesn't have the things.
There's no plows.
There's no plows. So the guys they were out though with their backhoes, like
Kind of dragging.
and trying to clear the road. I drove 15 miles an hour
that a
all the way
yawn?
to the college because
Or was that a stretch?
Jordan was scheduled for a placement test. Okay. Look at how pretty. I
Yeah,
just
Flea
love
Brown,
this tree
72
line.
is the normal temperature for Santa Barbara. It's perfect. 72,
I'm
21,
always cold when I go to California.
21 Celsius, by the way.
Oh,
the
I'm
only
always
reason.
cold when I go to California.
I am too. I go to San
have to
Diego
wear
for
a jacket.
Comic-Con. It's always cool to me.
Yeah.
But that's because here,
Yes.
you know,
I'm
110.
hot-blooded, baby. Hot-blooded. I'm just kidding. I'm going to dry this side really quickly, and then we'll do the last side. We're not going to make it to the second part of our project. But if you came in late, you guys, what we're doing is we're
Okay.
making a gift for. So if you have a creative friend who's struggling to have time, space, or is struggling with inspiration, this is a kit that you can make for them. This caddy can be for them to put their basic art supplies in. And then the second part of the gift was a little like index box. And I've cut some mixed media paper down to size to put in here so that you could just sit down twice a month or, however, whatever schedule they put to be able to sit down and create for self-care. And if you are in the Royce Cycle membership, starting in November, you guys will be getting 2 video prompts every month of projects that shouldn't take you any more than like 20 to 30 minutes to finish. But that will like sow into your like creative practice and also kind of create an opportunity for you to carve out some self-care for yourself at least twice a month.
Linda Steffens said it was in the high 70s in Wisconsin today. I made the comment watching the Packers game. So we were freezing yesterday, and I turned on the Packers game, and everybody's in T-shirts.
Oh, you talking about that? Yeah. Well, it was. I mean, everyone was saying I was gonna be cold in Wisconsin. It's gonna be cold, but
No,
was
Wisconsin.
fine.
We had
I mean,
the
I wore a
one day in the
duster.
50s.
yeah. But the most I wore was like one of my knitted dusters. I didn't have to wear like my hoodie.
I threw a flannel shirt on that day in the 50s, and it was perfect.
Yeah. So this paper is called Christmas Journal. It is a very neutral paper, but it's like an old, like a field journal where somebody's like, sketched out. And most of the artwork on here is really like just sketches of trees, sketches of animals. And so I really love this design. This is one of the ones I did for myself.
What
And
is
I
it
hope you
called?
guys love it. Christmas Journal.
Christmas Journal, because Beth Rasmussen Baker just joined,
Oh, okay.
so she was curious. Oh, and Linda Steffens is Queen Lydia.
What's my
Queen
favorite?
Lydia. I know she
is
made
it
me
here?
drink a, what was that drink I drank, you guys? Old fashioned. She made me. She twisted my arm, you guys. She made me drink an old fashioned.
Yeah.
No, I'm
I
kidding.
don't know, is it under?
See, I liked having all the tree lines
I don't
on
know where
this
the green
box.
is. It's got to be here. All right,
So-
I'm punching out for a minute. I have to find a green marker.
Okay. I have this long piece of paper on here, and I'm going to trim that. So what I found is that if I have a lot of paper hanging over, it can cause problems for me when I'm decoupaging. So the paper that you're working with is going to be stretching because it's wet, and any of the hangover that you have is not stretching. So that's when you end up with like those weird stress marks along the edge, which can cause you more stress than if you would have just used, if you would have just trimmed it a little bit closer. So, and then this little piece right here, I'm really digging. So I am going to cut this out, and I'm going to keep this too. And I'm not using the wet method because I don't care if it looks really clean. It's going to be fine. Did he lose one of his markers? Did we bring the green marker out? You know what, Papa? We'll find it in a few minutes. Oh, okay. So I really like, you guys know I love topography. So I'm going to go ahead and just add this back in right here on the top. So if you're working on a project and there's a piece of the tissue that you really love, you can decoupage it right over the top of your other part. You know, you can cut it out and decoupage it and it'll be fine.
Smoked blackberry old fashioned.
Yes, it was very tasty. And I forgot to trim my paper again.
No, it wasn't.
Except
She
for the
talked smack
bitters.
about it the whole time.
I did not. I just said the bitters. I could taste them on the back of my palette. And that wasn't my favorite part, but it was good though.
Amber Demakowitz, I have an old toolbox I could make for my new granddaughter, born 10/17/24. Kinsley, 9 pounds, 21 and a half ounces.
Oh my goodness. Almost 10 pounds. Congratulations.
That was 9 pounds, 21 and a half ounces was David.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, David.
And Christopher was 9.5 pounds, 21 inches. They were, the half just moved for each of them.
Oh, so to the.
Yeah, one was 9, 21 and a half. One was 9.5, 21.
21. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan was almost a 10-pounder too.
Congratulations.
Yes, and this would be a nice caddy for like baby powder and, you know, baby shampoo.
Watch out for the cord.
And something that I've learned,
Be careful.
because Ariana is a good mommy, is that she uses her breast milk like in the baby's bath and stuff. And you guys know how sometimes the baby gets like little blisters or they get little dry patches. Tiana has not had none of that. Like her skin has been beautiful. She hasn't had anything, any breakouts or anything, and she's 4 months old.
Can you pick up your...
What?
Yes.
And you guys see me going like this. This box is textured, and so I'm just pushing the paper into that texture. I know, Pop. We're almost done, okay? He's like, yeah, that's what you say. I know DeMar gets to go. The kids have been on fall break.
Yes, when we go inside.
So he gets to go back to school tomorrow.
Can I draw?
Yes.
And again, because I've misted my paper, I'm putting on a little bit more of my product than I normally do.
Oh, 9 2 ounces. Okay. And she said, thank you all. She's very excited. Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
And Lori Stanley Henderson, she uses breast milk in the bath.
Yes, just a little bit. And she puts it in the baby's bath, and it helps. I guess it has antimicrobial properties to help with the baby's skin. And I've seen it, too, a couple of people. There are some people that even make like a salve with it. You know, for the baby.
Linda Steffen says, what medium are you using?
I am using Wise Owl's varnish / 1 hour enamel because it's all in my little jar here. And the 1 hour enamel's gotten thick, so that's why you see it looks like a little thicker than it normally does. And it's because it's been in this bottle instead of,
okay?
You guys know usually I use my silicone containers.
I know.
And I don't know why I'm not using it because it stays better in here.
Aunt Bee's Attic just had their newest grandchild on the 16th.
Congratulations. Grandbabies are the best.
Baddie, Baddie, was 9 pounds, 2 ounces too.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of big kids coming out.
Is that the future of humanity? We're going to be the giants?
In Aurora, I'm guessing Colorado, 27 degrees this morning. 2 p.m. today was 82.
Oh my gosh.
Pamela Crossman was in Sedona this last week. It was lovely. Could sit outside for dinner. Wanted to use the hot tub, but it was 45 that night. Too cold for me to run.
Yeah, Sedona is cooler than we are.
Too cold for me to run from the tub to the room.
Sedona is generally colder than we are because they're at a higher elevation.
They are, yes. Oh, Hattie,
What
not
color do
Baddie.
you want?
Oh.
Blue.
Blue.
I was curious. I was like, well, maybe she's bad to the bone. I don't know.
bad to the bone.
I read.
Oh, try red? Okay, thank you.
And what I'll do, you guys, I'm going to wait until this is completely dry. So I probably won't even attempt it until tomorrow. And I'll go in with my blade.
That was Aurora, Illinois, home of Wayne and Garth.
And I'll trim this. But if I try to do it now, I'm just going to end up tearing it because even though this is dry to the touch, I know that there's a ton of moisture in there. So I'm going to wait to try to trim that.
Aurora went from 27 to 82. Ooh, that's rough.
And probably back down to 27.
Lori Stanley.
Talk about wearing layers. You got to layer up for real. What'd you say, babe?
I'm doing math. You tell me. Turn it over. Lori Stanley Henderson, I'm only 5'2". My first boy was 9 pounds, 1 ounce,
Oh my
22 and a half inches long.
Oh my goodness.
All natural, but almost got stuck.
That sounds like my kids were that big, but I'm 6 feet tall, so I couldn't imagine.
All right, look, I'm putting a moratorium on birthing stories. Because you ladies like to share. That was a rough one when I went over there, and it was you and our daughter-in-law and her mother. And there was a whole lot of, well, did this happen? Did that happen? And I was stuck listening to it. No, so we're just going to say all the babies are beautiful and move on.
No details, baby.
No.
Come on.
I do not need to be. I'm 62. It's too old to be scarred. Lori Joe says, can you decoupage paper onto a metal box?
You absolutely can. And so this box is metal, the other one that I'll be decoupaging. I'm not going to get to it tonight, though, obviously.
Oh, and Amber Demakowitz says she's going to tell her daughter-in-law about the breast milk in the bath and the antibodies.
Yeah, tell her to look it up on TikTok or Instagram, whichever one she's on.
Or look in a medical journal would be my recommendation.
I know, baby. I don't know if it's in a medical journal.
I'm a journalist, man. That's what I do. I don't go to TikTok.
I'm just telling you that I think sometimes it's kind of like, probably, I bet you a long time ago, my grandmother knew that. And it got lost somewhere because some fancy doctor said it wasn't good. Just saying.
Marie E. Price Miller, her youngest grandson is 15, has now hit 6'3". I don't think he's finished growing.
No. At 15.
I did finish growing at 14.
Did you?
But I was 6'6". I left 8th grade at 6'2". I entered high school at 6'5". I finished my freshman year at 6'6". And then I stopped.
And you were done. Jordan kept growing.
Yeah.
Like he graduated from high school and moved away and came back. I was just looking at him like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So.
Because most men grow until they're like 21.
Yeah.
Or they can grow until
I would say
like
David and Chris probably the same. They might have grown till their junior years, but after that they were pretty much done. And they're both at 6'5".
No. So this is this side. I love the tree line. And even though this paper is Christmassy, you guys, this box, because of the pieces that I chose, is really not specifically Christmas.
Round?
Yes.
I mean, we have the 25th there, but that could be, anything.
Yes.
And we have a 25 here.
Hi,
But
Ariana.
again, it still doesn't look like it's specifically Christmas. Maybe winter, but not Christmas. I love kind of the grunginess on some of the paper, so I want to duplicate that on some of these edges.
Ariana Sanchez is watching.
Hey, Ariana.
And Lori Jo Narad says, I love birthing stories. I'm a doula.
Oh.
Well, just no.
Come on, baby.
Icky. I don't want to know how the sausage is made. That's all I'm saying.
I painted one edge and didn't paint this one. What was I thinking? And so I didn't paint the inside because honestly, you guys, I was going to do a completely different project tonight. And so I just didn't have time to prep. So I really want the inside to be clean. Like I don't want to have any stains that are coming through my primer on the inside, because then it'll just look like it's not clean. So I'm going to prime the inside of this and let it sit overnight before I try and paint this. But you guys can see that this is just a regular plywood is what this is built with.
We got lots of babies being born. Chris Schmidt, my mom became a great-grandmother for the second time this morning.
Oh, my goodness.
Baby Chase was 8 pounds, 5 ounces, 22 inches.
These are healthy babies. That's good.
And Ampy's Attic, Royce is right, medical journal will lead you to something you can buy, not what's free. Jan McCrary, my mom said that breastfeeding went out of favor in the early 50s because feeding formula was like a status symbol.
Oh, really?
I can say this.
That's interesting.
I believe I was bottle fed, but I was weaned early.
I'm not surprised. I think David was just born an old man, y'all.
But all my cousins were bottle fed too, and they were all in the neighborhood, so it wasn't like, oh, I saw my cousins once a year or something. They were literally like down the block. Let's see.
I almost forgot to add my piece, you guys.
Did you decoupage the piece you cut out? Kathleen Hoovis asked.
She just reminded me. I almost forgot. And I'm trying to put it. See this little kind of blank area here? That's where I'm trying to put it.
Oh, Ariana says hi, Damar. You want to tell her what you're doing?
No.
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 Are you writing on your board?
Yeah.
What are you writing?
I'm writing a ghost.
You're writing a ghost?
And so you guys, even though I've added this piece, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a coat over the entire thing so that everything looks cohesive. I don't want to have this be a little bit shinier than everything else because it has extra clear coat on it. So whenever I'm laying my decoupage or layering it, I always go over and add another layer over the entire area so that the sheen isn't different.
Ariana,
Ariana,
are you at home or are you with your mom? Because I know she went with her mom this weekend.
Oh yeah, they went to the pumpkin patch. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I misted mine. I've let my sealer has gotten a little thick, so I just misted this a little bit so that sealer would move around a little bit better. And so I'm going to dry that, and then we can add some grunginess around the edges because I think this needs it. It's crying out for it.
Amber Demakowitz says, grandmas knew all the great remedies.
Yeah. I'm going to tell y'all, when I would get sick, my grandmother would make some tea. She'd put brandy in it too. And then she'd put you under like 3 quilts that probably weighed 5 pounds a piece, and you would just sweat. But then when I woke up, I was ready to go outside and play. I don't know what else was in that tea either, but I know it was brandy in there.
My grandfather used to put beer in a shot glass when he was watching a ball game, so I'd sit there and watch with him.
Oh, and you drink beer out of your shot glass?
Drink beer out of a shot glass. That was my glass. He had his glass.
Oh my goodness.
And we would watch whatever was playing.
My grandpa would let me drink coffee, which was against the rule. My grandmother would not like it because he'd be up early in the morning. But I think there was more milk than coffee in that.
I don't want to stress, this is me before kindergarten.
I'm sorry.
There was one photo I know of me holding that shot glass with beer.
Glass. And it probably fits your hand. Like
oh, my mother was so mad.
Look at you guys. I'm a mess. This is one of my, you guys know I love this silicone mat. And I just cut it to size. And I even have started using them as palettes because I can go in the house and wash this out if I want. And all this will come off. I literally have yet to find anything that sticks to these pads. And so I just love being able to have something that's more sustainable that I can use over and over again. But I think I've used this side to death. So we're just going to use this corner right here.
Lori Stanley Henderson, we had a hot toddy when we were coming down with something as littles.
Yeah. So I have some IOD ink. This one is turmeric because I don't want, you see how this is like a really warm, right? It's not just like gray and black. It has some warmth to it. So I'm going to use some turmeric and mix it with my stone gray to make to mix my ink together for the color that I want. And I do have some black here, and we'll see. The black will make it as dark as I want. And these two together make a really beautiful color. So I'm going to play around and see. This goes a long way. So I'm going to start with 1 drop of that. And I'm going to do 2 drops of my stone gray. 1, 2. And I just had my little ink thingy. What did I do with it? I literally just had it in my hand. Oh, man. Oh, I bet you it's over. Nope. Baby. Did anybody else see what I did with it? I just had it in my hand like a few seconds ago. Okay.
Nancy Griffin, I had 31 years in an OB gynecologist's office. Lots of pregnant mamas and babies. Good. Yeah, I'm glad you were there. I don't want to hear about it. Thank you for your service. I'm happy. Amber Demakowitz, I would get herbal hot tea, all herbal tea when growing up. Still keep hot tea. By the way, hot tea is always in quotes. For herbs for winter, and garlic, ginger, lemon, honey, and oregano.
Ooh, oregano. I've never put that in there. I never garlic either. So my tea that David calls my voodoo tea, by the way, is I'll make tea and I use candied ginger in it because it sweetens it too, and I'll put some lemon.
You had one already.
So lemon, ginger, and then sometimes I put turmeric in it. Like if I'm swollen, I'll put some turmeric in there.
Michelle Grigg, our cough syrup was $13 each, whiskey, lemon juice, and honey.
And my grandmother used to take honey, and I don't know what she did with it. She probably put lemon in it and whisked it because it was never like honey. It was like almost solid. It was weird. Oh man, look what I did. And I guess I dropped this on the floor. That's what it was. So.
Oh, you did. That's a good floor.
And this is just like one of the things from Tim Holtz.
Careful. I can't.
I don't think that's going to be dark enough, so I'm going to add a little bit of black in there. Just a wee bit.
Kathleen Uvis, I always had a bottle of brandy in my room growing up for my cough that my parents would give me. Yeah. My parents had to watch that my older brothers didn't nip it. Billy Keir asks, are the silicone pads on your Amazon?
They are in my Amazon store. And they're 15 feet long, you guys. They're fabulous, and you can just cut what you need. So if you are having like in-person workshops, these could be so awesome because you can just cut like, 12 inches and everybody could have their own mat. And it's a lot cheaper.
Karen Moyer asks, what color of gold mica have you been using from Posh? There's a few and I really love the one you're using.
Pale gold is my favorite one. So that's this one right here is the pale gold.
Jean Hicks says, is it in front of your scissors?
I found that it was on the floor. I was glad to know that it wasn't sitting right in front of me. Ken and I were
wondering why you put your silicone mat on your ink.
I know. Because I wasn't paying attention. I was focused on something else. I use my fingers. It's so interesting because I think people on YouTube are much more sensitive about things. I had somebody fuss at me about using my fingers with my products, but like, it's just how I roll, man. I'm a very tactile person. So I love doing this because I think it gives it so much more interest, right? Having that dark edge there. And also when you sand your paper, sometimes you're sanding the ink off and you end up with like a white edge. And this is a really good way to be able to address that. And even if you didn't want to have like a lot of grunge like I have, you could just go and barely go over the edge. But I'm pulling mine, into mine a little bit more.
Nancy Griffin says Vicks on the chest and feet after you drink hot tea and honey. Amber Demakowitz says vinegar socks. Socks soaked in vinegar.
I never had to wear vinegar socks, but I did get the rub down with the Vicks. And then my grandmother would give you a big old whopping teaspoon that you had to swallow on top of that.
No. No.
But I tell you what, for most of my adult life, I hardly ever got sick. Like, once a year, I would get sick, and that would be it. And I would be such a baby because I wasn't used to being sick. Now I feel like I always don't feel good. I want y'all to know something. This whole midlife, menopause BS is some BS. I'm just going to call it out for what it is. I'm tired of it already, baby. My bones aching every day, which is crock. Like I'm old working out somewhere. I'm not doing anything. Yeah, it frames it out really nicely, right? And like I said, it doesn't look specifically Christmas either. What color should I paint the inside, you guys? What do you guys think? Should I duplicate the light part of the paper or maybe choose like a charcoal? We'll take a poll and see
What
what
color
I
do you think, Damar? Should Grandma do?
Black.
That's always your answer. Ask him what his favorite color was. Black. What 5-year-old do you know who has black as a favorite? Although he does look good in black, which I think is weird. Like most kids look, you know, their skin looks really good in bright colors, and Damar's skin looks really good in black. I just think that's so weird. Not weird, but interesting. And I would go around with my crackle stamp on this paper, but this paper actually has a lot of crazing in it. Let me see if I can show you guys. Can you guys see that right there? So even within the design, there's already some crackle, so you don't have to add any crackle. I mean, if you want to, you can add some more, but there's quite a bit in the design. A lot of times when we show you guys the designs, like online, it's hard to show all that there is because there's usually a lot more that's kind of going on underneath that doesn't necessarily convey online.
And Marty wants to know, because she had to walk away, are you using ink?
I am. I'm using IOD ink. If you don't have ink, you can use some dark wax. That will work too, right? Because once you seal, so your wax is oil-based, so you'll want to seal everything first. But then once everything's sealed, you can go right over the top with your wax, your dark wax. If you want to maintain more control over how dark your piece is going to get, you'll want to go over everything with the clear wax first and then go over with your dark wax. That'll enable you to be able to wipe back more.
And Tammy Valoni says, what about dark green for the inside?
Ooh, that would be pretty.
Madonna Frazee Rap says charcoal. Billy Keir says charcoal would be beautiful. Joe Mason, Pamela Crossman both say charcoal. Aunt B. Zadok said U8 Vicks Vapo Rub. See, that's why I say that's a problem for me.
I'm still alive.
I'm rethinking this marriage now.
I'm done.
You guys see how it's white right there from where I was sanding it?
Okay.
So even if I only wanted to barely go around like that and not really pull it in, I can still knock back that white really easily. So, but you guys know me. I want my grunge to be really exaggerated. So, are you done, Pop?
It is 6:28.
Okay. I'm going to finish the other side, and then I guess we will finish the box next week. I have so many ideas, though. I'll have to do a video series, like edited video series on Christmas gift ideas. What do you guys think? Because I have a lot of ideas. And let me see, how can I say this? Because you guys know I don't want to disparage anyone, but I want to think of ideas that are like super thoughtful, right? I feel like handmade gifts, for a while, they didn't have value, but I think they have more value now. And it really gives us an opportunity to really make something specifically for someone. And so I have ideas for really thoughtful gifts that you can make someone feel like you made just for them. not something that you've made and now you're going to give to them. Know what I mean?
That
That is
noise.
so stinking yummy. I love it. And I'm going on with my dryer just to dry my ink so I don't pick up a whole bunch of yucky stuff. Not yucky, but you know,
No,
I have particles on
patting.
my mat that
I'm
I just
patting.
assume not be a part of
Because
my
I'm telling
piece.
you I love you.
And when I trim this, I'm probably going to go in with a stiff brush, something like this, a really stiff brush, and add some ink around the edge of that too. And what you guys can do, a lot of times I hear customers like on the IOD group or in some of the other paint groups will say that they use the ink and then when they went to seal it or do something else, it ran all over the place. If you take the time to not just dry your ink, but you actually use the heat from your craft dryer to set your ink, it won't move. And sometimes you can just, depending on your, I think it depends on like where you live. Here in Arizona, I could just come back tomorrow and my ink would be set. It'd be good to go. But if you're somewhere cooler, maybe with more humidity, you might want to take the time to
So
use
we have
the heat of your dryer.
We have a couple of questions. Kathleen Hoovis, so if you put too much ink or got it where you didn't want, is there a way to remove it?
Yeah, so you guys know that here in my shop, I will buy a pack of baby wipes and I always squirt some regular rubbing alcohol in it. So if I got ink somewhere where I didn't want it, I would take one of my little alcohol wipes and I could wipe it up really easily. You guys see all those tannins bleeding through? But I mean, it looks cool on this, but if I had made something like pretty with flowers, I'd be mad. And so even my light projects are still a little grungy.
I'll do it. Joe Mason, what is the name of the paper? I missed it.
This one is Christmas Journal. So this is a recycled Christmas Journal decoupage paper. It doesn't look specifically Christmas today because of the way we used it. But all of the script I got from really old antique greeting
watch what I'm
cards.
doing.
And so let me see if I can read one. So if you look closely at the writing, tidings of comfort and joy,
Christmas
it's more
tree.
than Merry Christmas that I am wishing you. It's bright and merry every day, the coming 12 months through. So each of
Christmas
these
tree.
is like a Christmas greeting. So this is a Christmas paper, even though it doesn't automatically read Christmas. I wanted to make something kind of neutral and adult for the holidays, if that makes sense. Colorful is fun, don't get me wrong, but I was just really feeling something kind of neutral,
Good
more
idea.
natural. And the beautiful thing about this paper, if you wanted to add color to it, you absolutely could. What I would do if I was going to paint over this, you can either put some clear gesso over it, or if you're going to be using watercolor, you can use a watercolor ground. And then once that dries, you can go over and you can watercolor these elements to add color if that's what you wanted to do.
Carol Kincaid asks, is this paper available?
This is available. If you are a recycled retailer and you are watching tonight, please put the links to where customers can find the paper. I always encourage customers to find a recycled retailer, not only to buy paper, but to ask questions. If you are new on your creative journey, or even if you've been doing this for a while, sometimes you just kind of have questions about the products that you buy. So it's nice to have a partner in crime who can help you on your journey. And so having a retailer really goes a long way to having that happen.
Okay, let's see.
Because most retailers, not most, all of the retailers carry other things. They don't just carry the recycled decoupage paper. They carry a paint line and specialty products. And so they can help you reach your creative goals.
You're right.
And so that's our project for today. I'll take a picture. It's really hard to get. It's a little bigger than I thought it was. I have a smaller one. I probably should have chose that one. And I didn't do the top of this yet because I'm not going to do it until I make a decision about what I'm going to do on the inside.
Linda Steffen says, I'm having trouble finding a retailer in my area. Is there a link to retailers on your website?
There is. If you go to roycycle.com, on the very top, you'll see where it says retailers. If you click there, a list will come up And I have a lot of retailers
good.
who are also on Etsy.
Okay.
So if you go to
Look
Etsy
on
and
the
search
board.
recycled decoupage
Okay,
paper,
can I draw?
you can find them there as well. I am working my retailer directory is not like the wonderful list, so we're working on updating that to make it something more I don't know, better. I'll show it again up here.
Will you show
Will you show?
the finished piece next Sunday?
I will.
You gotta draw
I will show the finished piece next Sunday, or I might take a picture. Like last Sunday, we worked on this piece, and I was able to post a picture. Although I haven't done anything to the background yet, I don't love it, but I don't know what I want to do, so I haven't done anything. But this was what we did last week, and we
Snowman.
used the recycled
That's a
crockery
snowman.
texture decoupage paper. Together with the recycled crockery stencil to make our vase. And then we used these roses, our transfers from one of the IOD transfers. One of you guys help me out. But this was last Sunday's. So I'm trying to post pictures of the projects and kind of get done.
So Amber Demakowitz does say, yes, please do Christmas gift ideas.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. Like this one is kind of Christmassy. We use a Christmas paper, but like it doesn't look Christmassy. I think this can be any time. And like, just think, somebody could take this,
Look,
right?
I made it.
And they could fill it like with their basic supplies that they can use to create without having to have like a whole area. This would be a lot of supplies you could fit in this caddy.
That's the hamburger helper hand.
And then this could be something they could put away and then
Pancake
pull
turkey.
out whenever they're going to create
Pancake
without having to
turkey.
allocate like a whole room. I mean, we know that's optimum, but you guys know what I'm saying. Not everybody's able to do that. And so this could be the gift of creation that you could give to somebody, or the gift of creativity. And then, I don't know, I feel like this will be too, this was the other half of this gift idea, was a little metal box. It's an index card box. And I've just taken some mixed media paper and cut them to size and put them in here with the idea that if someone didn't have time to do a full blown out project, like maybe the one I just showed, they could sit down, and they could do something really quickly just to like, just so that you're doing something, even if you're super busy. It's just about taking out that time for self-care. And inside of the Recycled membership, I'll be doing prompts twice a month that will actually go with this. So my members I've encouraged them to make a box for themselves so that when they're sitting down to do their prompts, they're all set up and they can do them in like 20 to 30 minutes is what I'm shooting for. So they'll get a video twice a month with a prompt and then an affirmation to go with that prompt. And so we'll be making some really pretty graphics with the affirmation. So if they want to print those off and cut them out, they can put them in there as well. So
Christy Feldman says, I'm in Indiana. How can I find out if any local retailers sell your decoupage paper?
if they're listed on my website, they carry the decoupage paper. So, and also there should be either a phone number or a website on there. And you guys, if you have some, most retailers will ship to you. Like 99% of the retailers will ship. Hey T, put your thingy in there, your link on where we can find paper. T is in Ohio, by the way. And you guys can find a retailer. And it's hard because not everybody carries like a huge inventory. So you may have to shop around a little bit, but once you find your retailer, like you'll be good to go.
That's a turkey.
Oh, that's a turkey. That's a good looking turkey.
Yeah.
It is.
Michelle Grigg, that would be cute with florals as a Christmas centerpiece.
It would be. And we've made one of those together too, because if you have like a, a tablescape, this could be in the middle with some florals coming out and that'd be really pretty. I agree. These caddies, you guys, you can use them for so many things, right? That's why I love them. And so I think that's it. If you have questions about the retreat, you guys, there are 20 spots still available for the retreat. We've already sold 40 and we just opened them up, right before we left for Wisconsin. So it's been 3 weeks. There are 20 seats available, but once they're sold out, that's going to be it because I want to make sure that whoever comes, that they can have a really good time. And then if you're looking for a recycled retailer, this is a QR code you can follow to find the list of retailers. And then if you guys have questions about the Recycled Bessie's membership, just message me and I'll send you a link. I need to post that too more often. But other than that, you guys, I think that's it. Unless anybody had any more questions.
Nope.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. You guys, and I am serious as a heart attack. My grandmother would always say, you can make more money, but you can't make more time. So you guys spending your time with us on Sunday night means so much to us. I'm so grateful for you. And as always, there isn't anything that I've done here tonight that you cannot absolutely do. You guys can do this. You can do it today. Have a blessed week, and we will be live Friday on Whatnot if you guys want to join us over there. You don't have to buy anything. Come over, hop on, and just join the mayhem. There's more mayhem over there.